All right, let's jump right into this. Welcome to this visual breakdown of a moment that literally left the wrestling world paralyzed. We're talking about the absolute shocker from the May 18th, 2026 edition of WWE Raw, the return of Brock Lesnar. Seriously, if you blinked, you missed it. But that's exactly why we're doing this explainer today, to break down the context, the narrative, and the flawless execution of this ambush. Okay, let's dive right into this. Just put yourself in the commentator's shoes for a second. Listen to this pure, unfiltered panic. Oh, what was that? What was that? What was that? My God, it's the beast incarnate. You can hear the visceral live reaction there. The adrenaline just spiked to the absolute maximum because, no joke, absolutely no one saw this coming. The broadcast captured the total chaos of a perfect ambush. Section 1, El Regreso Inesperado, the shocking arrival. Let's see how this all builds up, because we went from 0 to 100 in a fraction of a second here. Monday Night Raw was just rolling along, doing its thing, and then boom. The entire landscape of the company radically changes. To really get it, we have to trace this back to the humiliation Lesnar suffered on the grandest stage of them all at WrestleMania. After that, the rumor mill went crazy with persistent whispers about his retirement. People were saying he was done, but they seemed totally unfounded. Well, where there's smoke, there's fire. Except this time, the fire was a sudden, brutal return that nobody predicted. Moving into Section 2, Humillación and WrestleMania. Refusing disgrace. So the crucial point here is understanding the real motive, right? The spark that lit the match. Look, Brock Lesnar is an athlete driven by power and pride. Sure, speculation about him leaving the industry was everywhere, but it totally ignored the unbreakable ego of the beast. I mean, think about it. After such a legendary career, helping to literally build the industry, was he really going to go out defeated? Or, as the Spanish broadcast perfectly put it, con las tablas en la cabeza? No way. Being ridiculed at WrestleMania meant those quiet retirement rumors were never actually viable. The beast might have been wounded, but he was definitely never tamed. Section 3, La Venganza de la Bestia, the mayor of Suplex City. What happened next in the ring wasn't just some wave-to-the-crowd cameo. It was an absolute, systematic execution. The broadcast team could barely even keep up. 4. That's not just any statistic. That is the exact number of back-to-back F5s, his devastating patented finisher unleashed in mere seconds. You had the commentator literally screaming, "One more, another F5, three in a row," and then having to instantly correct himself like, "Oh, wait, I got the number wrong, it's still going." It was completely relentless. Just an absolute masterclass in pure power, and as the mayor of Suplex City handed the keys over to the man who tried to make a fool of him. That leads us to Section 4, Las Víctimas de Oba Femi, a sudden role reversal. Now, what's really interesting here is this brilliant framing by the commentators. Oba Femi was the undisputed victimizer, right? He was strutting around fully confident after just humiliating Berto and Angel, literally on the prowl for his next target. He thought he was at the absolute top of the food chain, but in a split second, he becomes the victimized. All that control just vanished the moment Lesnar stepped on the mat. Talk about a massive reality check for a guy who thought he was untouchable. And this brilliantly illustrates the whole dynamic perfectly, as one commentator pointed out with some surprising philosophical depth right in the middle of all that chaos. They said, "That's life. Sometimes you jump and sometimes you fall short." It's such a sharp way of pointing out that Obafemi's arrogance, his habit of humiliating people, led him to take a leap that was way too big. The fall was inevitable. When you act with that much overconfidence, you paint a massive target on your back. And, well, this time, the hunter came face to face with the ultimate apex predator. Which brings us to our final section, Implicaciones para el futuro, the aftermath. So the dust has finally settled. Obafemi is wrecked in the ring, and Brock Lesnar has left his message signed in blood. But you and I both know an action like this has a massive ripple effect. So, what are the future implications for the company now that the beast is back and clearly out for blood? The broadcaster actually nailed it when closing out the segment. Still totally stunned by what he had just witnessed, he said, "I don't know what this implies, but it will surely bring implications." The whole ecosystem just shifted. What is Obafemi going to do now that his aura of invincibility has been completely shattered on national television? And more importantly, who else is standing in Lesnar's path of destruction? I'll leave you to chew on that provocative thought. Thanks for joining me for this explainer. Keep learning, stay curious, and I'll catch you next time.